Hey, what's going on, guys? I thought I'd just take a little look at some of these major brands' batteries. Um, we're going to look at the 2.0 to 1.5 amp hour batteries. Just show you some of the different features, some of the different, the weight, and all around, access, you know, to the actual tool you're putting it on. Um, you know, we'll start with the Milwaukee. This is the 1.5 amp hour battery. It's a pretty nice battery. It's a little heavy for a 1.5 amp hour battery, especially compared to the Bosch and the Dewalt. But I do like that it has a fuel gauge on it, power gauge, and I love the way it's just kind of like the Ridgid. Milwaukee, Ridgid, and Ryobi are all owned by the same company. But they kind of got this this two push button release to take it off the tool, and to put it on you just slide it in. But I like that feature where because sometimes these batteries can be a pain in the neck to get off, especially the Bosch. They make a real great battery. I mean, looks wise, feel wise, and it has the also it has the power gauge in the back. It's probably the nicest battery. Excuse me. Just like comparing weight and all around feel. I think Bosch kind of has the best batteries between them and Dewalt. It's real tough in my opinion. Now all these batteries are fine. They all work great, and they're all going to give you the same amount of runtime pretty much. But, this is a very heavy, this 1.5 Milwaukee is heavier than both the 2.0 Bosch and the 2.0 Dewalt. And probably the 2.0 Makita, but I don't have a 2.0 Makita. I just got this on for reference. This is a 3 amp hour battery. Great batteries, Makita, but no fuel gauge on it. It really sets them back. But all the new Makita batteries have fuel gauges. So just to let you know, this is a brand new battery, but it's not brand new. It's one of their older models. So it's real nice. Makita, they make real nice batteries, power wise and stuff like that. And also to charge some of these, that's another thing. To put on the charger. I think the Ryobi is obviously the easiest. This type of battery, it's kind of gone. No one does it with this, this long neck, stick it in. It is kind of, it's a big battery. You want to put them in your pocket. You kind of got this thing sticking out. It's not, really accessible. But, it's a decent battery, real easy to put on and off the tool, and real easy to put on and off the charger. But obviously out of the 6 I have here, it's probably not the best. Might be on the bottom. But anyway, getting back, great battery with the Milwaukee. Has a lot of protective features to it. If you drop, it has this rubber molding. Great battery. Nothing bad to say about it. I love the 2 push button release, but it's a little heavy. Like I said, I get back to the Bosch, what can I say? It's a real nice compact battery. Good feel to it. Really not more I can say. Like I said, I think that between the Bosch and the DeWalt, I think they have the 2 best battery platforms, right now. But the Makita's there too now. And like I said, they're all bad. I don't want to get anybody crazy upset because, But now getting to the Ridgid here. This is a monster of a battery. It is very heavy. Again, with the 2 push button, this is an awesome feature. Like I said, these 2 companies are owned by the same. These 2 brands are owned by the same company, and they kind of they got the same kind of platform going with this push button. But this one is this is the heaviest one, probably on the market, 2.0 amp hour wise. No doubt, way heavier than the Bosch and the Dewalt and the Makita, which I don't have, but it's definitely heavier than the Makita. But, it has, the thing with these these two, the Milwaukee and the Ridgid, is, you know, you're going to get a little bit added weight because of the features it has. You know, it has the 2 push button release. It's got this rubber molding around it. You know, this is a monster battery. And let me tell you, if you drop this thing, you know, you're going to be pretty well protected. You know, but it is a monster. My heater just came on, so I'm going to pause this and then I'll pick it up when my heater shuts down. Okay, that just took a second, thank God. But yeah, so like I said, you know, you're going to get a little bit added weight with the features of the Milwaukee and the Ridgid. That being said, you know, like I said, there's good, even though I'm telling you weight and some of the features that each one has, protective wise and all that. I mean, there's just so many different variations of like pros and cons. It almost equals the batteries out, to be honest with you, because, you know, now we're getting to the Dewalt. Probably the best battery out of all these. You know, I would put it a little bit ahead of the Bosch, a little bit lighter, and I like the way the fuel gauge. It's real easy to press. You know, boom, boom. With the Bosch, if you have, you know, their batteries, it's hard to press down on it. You got to really put your thumb into it and press down. You know, it's much easier with the Dewalt, and it's definitely lighter. This is the lightest one, you know, between all of them. I mean, this 2.0 is lighter than the 1.5 of the Milwaukee. And, you know, man, it's unbelievably much lighter than the Ridgid. But that being said, the two best 2 amp hour batteries, you know, with size, you know, weight, you know, compact, you know, there's no protective moldings on these. I mean, but you don't really, I mean, I've dropped a lot of these batteries, and the way they're you know, made, you know, with all the technology inside of them, they can take a pretty good fall, pretty good beating. I mean, I've dropped them, man, where I thought there's no way this thing is gonna make it, and put it right in the drill, and it started right up. So, I mean, but you know, it's always good to have a little bit more protection, you know, if you could, you know. I mean, there's gonna be times where if you do drop this, there's, you know, I mean, God, drop it from a 20-foot, you're up on a roof and the battery slips out of your hand and it falls 20 feet onto the concrete. I don't know. With this one, you know, with the Milwaukee and the Ridgid, you're going to have a better chance of survival. But, like I said, so there's no protective components on these two. And these two are the biggest pain in the neck to get on and off the charger. I mean, absolutely a nightmare. I mean, the Dewalt charger is probably the worst out of all of these. You know, it's a close one, and you know, like I said, the Ridgid's definitely. I mean, the Ryobi's definitely the easiest and the best. These two, you know, I put the Ridgid next, and then the Milwaukee. You know, Bosch and Makita are pretty much the same, but that DeWalt charger is terrible. I mean, you got to literally have 2 hands, you know, to take, you know, the battery off the charger. 2 hands, and you got to really yank it, and, you know, it's just a pain in the neck, in my opinion. Same kind of thing with the Bosch. I mean, it's almost equal. I mean, they're just pains in the necks where, you know, with the Ridgid, it just slides right on and off the charger. You know, kind of the same thing with the Milwaukee. But, and another thing about these batteries too. I mean, I know everybody's into these big batteries. Let's get the 3 amp hour. Hell, let's not get the 4. Let's not get the 5. Let's get the 6. You know, and you know, the whole purpose of having an impact driver and a hammer drill and, you know, a drill driver, whatever you're using, is to keep it light. You know, I mean, I see some people, you know, some of these channels too, they do these reviews, and, you know, they got a 4 or 5 amp hour battery on an impact. And it's like, you know, why? You know, why? You know, the whole point is to keep the tool lightweight, less fatigue on the arms, you know, easier to get into spaces and all that. There's no need to go over a 1.5 or a 2.0 amp hour battery on any of those types of tools. Any, you know, hand tools, the drills, the impacts, hammer drills, stuff like that, you know. Keep the tool light, and, you know, these you know, I've taken down sheds, garages, where I used, you know, impacts or drill 8-9 hours. I mean, using it constantly. And 2 days. 2 days. Actually, I just used the Milwaukee, this 1.5. 2 days of taking down sheds. And putting them, well, taking down a shed on a Saturday and putting one up on a Sunday. And, you know, constantly putting in, you know, screws, some nuts and all that. And 2 full days out of this 1.5 amp hour battery. So, you know, but you know, obviously you do need a 5 and a 4 amp hour battery if you're using, you know, a cordless vacuum or, you know, stuff like that. You know, something that takes up, you know, like the Dewalt miter saw. Stuff like that you're going to need big batteries for, but, you know, for impacts and drills, you should not go over this platform. But I'm running out of time with my camera here, so that's about it. Any comments or questions, let me know. Let me know what your favorite is. Like I said, this video wasn't here to bash any brand, just my opinion. You know, just using them all, but let me know below what ones you like the best and what ones you don't like. And I'll catch you on the next one.